Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Rio Grande Credit Union Field at the Lab. It's take two between New Mexico United and Los Dos here in a rescheduled match from last Wednesday night. Playoff implications on the line tonight. Pregame coming up in just a moment. The 2022 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, to put it lightly, this is a big one tonight.
Yeah, especially with how results are going on the East Coast right now as well. It's even more important that New Mexico United find a way to get a win tonight.
We'll get into that here in just a moment, but first, let's have a look at tonight's players to watch, brought to you by NM Solar Group here, Chris. And starting off first for New Mexico, off a brace on the weekend, it's the El Salvador international, Armando Moreno.
Yeah, like you said, brace at the weekend. If that happens to be Armando Moreno catching fire at this time of the season, that could be huge for New Mexico United. But it's the leadership and the intensity he brings, even without the goals, that are huge for this team.
On the other side, for Los Dos, we're going to be keeping an eye on Owen Lamb, the 22-year-old out of Santa Barbara, California.
Yeah, with Lamb, it's not the goals he scores, it's the ones he sets up. 7 assists already this season, leads the team, 30 appearances. He's got an eye for a killer pass, bombing on from outside back.
Lots to get into here tonight. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll have lineups and kickoff when we return.
The Red or Green Savings Event. Shop hot buys and cool deals store-wide on the largest selection of in-stock furniture and mattresses in New Mexico. Save big on dining room, bedroom, living room, rugs, and more, like this comfy recliner. Your choice, brown or gray. Buy one, get one free. Just $6.99. We're New Mexico proud.
You always get the best for less at American Home Furniture and Mattress.
Straight down into the core of the earth, 700 feet beneath the surface, stalagmites and stalactites, million-year-old all-stars in a natural stadium, carved by water, populated by bats, and marveled by all. Carlsbad Caverns National Park.
Game time.
It's Hispanic Heritage Night here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst as New Mexico United ready to take on LA Galaxy 2. Tonight's match is presented by CNM, New Mexico's largest and premier community college, delivering innovative programs with affordable degrees and certificates. Chris, let's have a look at tonight's starting 11s presented by Michelob Ultra. For Zach Prince, 4 changes from his side on the weekend. Azira, Weehan, Frater, and Suggs all getting the start.
Yeah, a few changes where obviously, the offense wasn't the issue on Saturday against Sunday, but keeping the back door shut, and conceding 3 goals is very un-New Mexico-like. So I think it's not lost on the head coach and the coaching staff how important tonight is. So starting lineup that reflects that.
starting lineup here for Los Dos. This is how Marcelo Sarvas is choosing his side today. 4 changes as well from the side that was defeated by Atlanta United 2 over the weekend. We're going to see Asenge, Tellez, Rudisil, and Salazar all getting the starts here today.
Yeah, Los Dos definitely trying to play the spoiler tonight and trying to, you know, they know exactly what New Mexico United are aiming for tonight. I'm sure both sets of teams are well aware of what's going on in the El Paso Tampa Bay game as well. And yeah, the whole idea, the whole game plan, I'm sure for Los Dos is to make sure that they spoil that evening.
Those were the keys to the match presented by Garcia Automotive Group. And as you mentioned, Chris, keeping an eye on things out in Tampa. Those are your keys to the game. For New Mexico, find connections between midfielders and forwards, create width down the wing, and physicality in defense. As Kevon Frater in the center circle here for the black and yellow. As New Mexico could potentially clinch a playoff berth here tonight, and we are underway. Take 2 between these two sides here at the Lab. After last week's contest was called after just 6 minutes and 42 seconds, Chris. One of the stranger things I've seen in my time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was something obviously that we've never experienced, but it was quite obvious. I think, you know, we had a little wander down to the field once the game had been suspended, and it was quite obvious that it wasn't going to continue. But happily, we're back on tonight, and there's a few fans who've made it back as well.
This is Los Dos controlling early on. This ball goes all the way back to the keeper. That's Lopez. Frater giving chase. Doyle cuts it inside, and it goes back out the way to Owen Lamb. Top, that's Salazar coming off a suspension. Had this game been played last Wednesday like it was originally supposed to, Salazar would not have been eligible to play. Portillo spreads this far side to Harry Swartz. Overlapping run from Seymour. He elects to go to Azira instead. Kalen Ryden over to Justin Portillo. Portillo picked up an assist on the weekend. Leads New Mexico in that category. He's got 5 on the season. Suggs looking to find Frater on the run here. Ball checks up. Frater one-times it and sends it across the face of goal. And that was a good idea there for the black and yellow.
That's not dissimilar to the goal, the only goal he scored since his return, Frater, where he just takes it so early and really doesn't give Los Dos any time to set up there, but takes that shot so early. Very dangerous.
This is the injury report presented by Ben Sherman Law. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. 3 names there for New Mexico: Nava, Brett, and Rashid Tete. And down the field, this is Tellez. Ball goes into the box. Salazar sees that one skip off his head. Ball's far side to Dunbar. Dunbar scored over the weekend against Atlanta United too. It was a 7th-minute goal for Los Dos. Unfortunately for them, that was the only goal they would score on the evening. As Atlanta United 2 able to score 3 goals from the 75th minute on and wrap up a 3-1 victory. Frater with the soft touch. Great control there from Kevon Frater. And he's eventually picked there by Doyle Azira, able to come back in possession. And it's New Mexico once again. Doyle plays it across. That's Asenge. Loose ball here. Here's Drack. Josh Drack out of Chandler, Arizona, played at the University of Denver. As did the Los Dos leading scorer, who's not in the 18 tonight, was not in the 18 on the weekend, Preston Judd. He's got 13 goals for Galaxy 2 this season. Behind Behind him is Dunbar with 11. Here's Seymour, able to get the header to it and find Harry Swartz, who's run off the ball. No foul called by the official. Rudisil, and ball turned back over to Harry Swartz.
This is a Fiesta Auto free hit.
You can see already from the start of the game here, Los Dos very comfortable in possession, as you would imagine any Marcelo Savas known for that in his playing days as well. But the other interesting thing is every time New Mexico United, especially on this right-hand side channel here, so Harry Schwartz there was Kavan Freighter earlier on, very high press, although right now they're sitting down in a little mid-block there, but not afraid to kind of step up and put New Mexico United under pressure and not allow them to maybe have the ball as much as what they would expect in a home game. You just see right now, Tyler, where they're so disciplined, it's really hard for New Mexico United to play forward, gone side to side a couple of times. Really well drilled there by Los Dos, maybe a sign of things where to come as well, where they're maybe happy to frustrate the home team and force them to maybe play a little more possession, a little more negative.
Kavan Freighter, club's third all-time leading scorer, ran off the ball. It's a Senge, and he turns it back over. Here's Suggs. Freighter, now Moreno. Here's Weehan, top of the box. Mexico eventually has their pocket picked, and Lopez will send it away, and that's going to give us time for this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico State-sponsored 529 plan. And this one goes awry, and Galaxy have taken the lead here in the 6th minute. And this is exactly what New Mexico did not want here, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a routine back pass there by Kalen Ryden, and you can only imagine Tambakis there. I couldn't see if it took a bobble or whether he just took his eye off the ball there, but I believe it was, the pressure from Salazar, I believe it was, just, made him take his eye off the ball a little bit. You can see by the reaction of Tambakis there, maybe he feels he should have done better, but yeah, that's an absolute disastrous start for New Mexico United, giving Los Dos something to hang on to here. 34th
goal conceded on this season for the Athenian Alex Tambakis. And New Mexico with work to do here as we have a look over at the Tampa Bay El Paso game nearing the 80th minute. El Paso down 2-1 currently. Now keep in mind, if El Paso do not win tonight, New Mexico need to win to clinch a berth in the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense. So postseason aspirations here on the line for the black and yellow, Chris, and not the ideal start to say the least.
Yeah, I mean that, and you could just see, and you could hear the reaction of the crowd. You could see the reaction of the players. I think it was Michael Azira trying to grab the ball as quickly as possible, and everyone was trying to get everyone kind of G'd up. But that was, like I say, if the plan for this evening, that obviously wasn't in it.
Freighter called for offside. That is Zach Prince. This is our P&M coaches spotlight. New Mexico United currently on pace for their highest point total and league finish in club history, pulling over 1.5 points per match. Led by Zach Prince as the head coach, and had a long playing career, 162 appearances as a player. Hey, guy. Senge has his pocket picked by Freighter. Moreno making the run forward. Freighter gets a shot off, and it's blocked by Senge. It was actually Azira that came away with the initial interception. And New Mexico looking to answer back quickly here.
Yeah, I think that was just like a little experience from Azira. He can tell it just, since the goal, it just went a little bit flat there, and he just kind of injected a little energy into there, a little high press, picked their pocket, picked the right ball as well, a little space for Freighter, just couldn't quite generate the space to get the shot on target.
This is our first Bank of America corner kick of the evening. Here's Portillo, sends this one back post, and that's Lopez fully extending to punch it away. And New Mexico look to keep the pressure on. And so this was a look at the initial goal that was conceded by New Mexico. Is right, and as you can see, and Tambakis just missed it, Chris.
You can see it bounces twice before it gets to him, and then the last, he's anticipating a third bounce, and it just doesn't. It just stays flat and just goes underneath his foot. It's an absolute disaster. But Tambakis will not want to see that one on replay.
Dunbar, and Tambakis has to handle that one. That one came in hot.
I'm sure he'll be having a word with Will Seymour later on about that one as well. After what had just happened, we just watched the replay. The last thing you want is then to have a ball fizzed back at you right in front of the goal as well. But did well to deal with that one.
New Mexico on their heels right now, Chris, looking out of sorts as they just concede possession here in their own half.
And, you know, it's somewhat understandable. It is. I mean, there's no getting away from it. It is a huge night tonight. You know, what is on the line for the club being able to get back into the playoffs after missing out last year. This is a massive night, and maybe some of the players are just feeling it a little bit.
Here's Doyle. Doyle overhits Dunbar there, and New Mexico will have a throw. Alexi Sawahi got the start on the weekend. The Comoros International. Here's Portillo. Elects to go to Suggs now. This is the captain, Josh Suggs. Looking to work a little give and go with Moreno. Seymour. Oh, and what a turn from Harry Swartz, and Swartz is loose. Looking to play this into the box and goes right into the midsection of Doyle, or does it? It does not. It's a handball that has been given, and New Mexico with the golden opportunity to tie things up here in the 12th minute.
My first reaction in the booth here was I thought it was a handball, and you can nearly tell by Doyle's reaction because he goes down holding his stomach, and to me, that means that he knows he did something wrong and he's trying to make sure that the referee doesn't think that is his hand. But it was interesting. It looked like the AR, who had a great view of it, he gave a corner. It seemed like the referee maybe overruled it and gave a PK. But yeah, I actually agree. I think it was a handball, and this is a huge opportunity for New Mexico.
And so it's Justin Portillo, the Iceman as they call him, stepping up to the spot here for New Mexico. So let's have a look here at our TLC replay. You see Harry Swartz, and it goes in, and you can very clearly see Frater called for it, and it was the left arm.
You could see
Doyle that was stuck out.
Yeah, you could see his hand was extended away from his body, and even from that angle, that's not, you know, because the camera angle's behind, but even from that camera angle, you can still see the ball clearly hit his left hand. And like I say, the reaction of him where he goes down holding his stomach, that's definitely trying to sell, I did something wrong in my mind.
Justin Portillo looking to tie things up here for New Mexico. And it's the Iceman, Justin Portillo, sliding home for his 8th goal of the season in New Mexico. Tie things up here in the 13th minute.
Like you said, Iceman, like that. What an absolutely great PK there. Bottom corner, keeper had absolutely no chance. You could hear like a little silence just fall over the crowd right before he took it as well. And, you know, like I say, Portillo just doesn't seem to feel any pressure.
Goals are brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And you talk about building trust here, Chris. Who else do you turn to in a situation like this but Justin Portillo? His team leading 8th goal on this season.
Yeah, and you can just see, like, keeper even goes the right way, but it's so well placed right in the corner. And the power he gets with his instep as well. Keeper has no chance even going the right direction.
So it's a 13th minute goal for Justin Portillo from the penalty spot, and New Mexico right back in. Here's Harry Swartz. Swartz decides to have a go, and he sends it across the face of goal, asking for a corner kick. He's not going to get it, but New Mexico, Chris, perhaps now they're finally starting to settle into this one.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like that goal against kind of woke them up a little bit and settled the nerves and was almost like, all right, let's just get on with it now. And you can see Harry Schwartz looks very much in the mood, which early season Schwartz it kind of looks like, because he started the season on fire, struggled a little bit with injuries, but some of the little tricks and flicks and the way he's linking up with Kevon Frater right now will be very, very pleasing for New Mexico.
Schwartz with 4 goals on the campaign thus far. Scored all of those in the first half of the season. See the captain, Josh Suggs, putting his body on the line, going through some of the sponsor field signage. This is the other half of our P&M Coaches Spotlight. It's Marcelo Sarvas. It's his first season as the manager here at Los Dos. Previously played for the MLS side, LA Galaxy. So this is a Bank of America corner kick with over 4,600 locations. Convenient banking is just around the corner. Ball sent in, going back post. And it's a fracas at the back post, Chris. Somehow, New Mexico able to keep that out.
I think it's that Will Seymour. He's owed an ice cream back there. He was on the ground but still managed to keep it out, but wide open. I think it was Salazar again. He's causing havoc in there, just using his experience a little bit, just finding where the ball's going to pop out, and he has 2 bites of the apple as well, and still manages to not quite get it over the line.
Second opportunity there from Drac, goes well over the bar. New Mexico able to deal with the pressure there, but this has been real end-to-end stuff here through the first 16 minutes.
I was just about to say it, frantic. It has been absolutely frantic. You see there, New Mexico United, we were just saying, seemed like they'd settled into the game a little bit, find a little rhythm. All of a sudden, an absolute glorious chance for Los Dos at the other end. So yeah, end-to-end stuff, great entertainment.
Rudisil working against Will Seymour. Able to win the throw in here for Galaxy 2. It's going to be Drac to take. This is Teez. Teez scored an Olympico while playing for the Galaxy Academy against the Manchester United Academy in April of this year. Incredible goal. If you have a chance, go and look it up. And the foul is going to be called just on the edge of the center circle. It's going to be a Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for the visitors. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's Choice, Player's Choice. This ball still running. Eventually was picked up there by Teez in the midfield. Here's Teez again. They're going to switch the play near side. It's Owen Lamb. He can cut in from this side as well. There's the cut in from Lamb. Plays it across. And Portillo able to clear the danger. Frater giving chase. Frater's one-on-one with the keeper now. Esenge able to recover, and Frater rips one. And that goes just outside the back of the net. From the angle here, you can tell the crowd were a little bit excited, but from the angle that Frater hit it, it looked like it might have caught the string on the net.
Yeah, it just knocked the goal down there, but Frater's asking for a corner. I actually think Senge, I think he actually got a little touch on that there, but you can see there was a chance where at both ends, both defenses look a little shaky whenever they're put under pressure. The goal for Los Dos came from Salazar just basically running at Tambakis and riding there and created and forced the mistake. And you see there, Frater, he had that little turn of pace there, and it kind of caught Senge off guard a little bit and created an own opportunity for himself.
That is Ed, the head groundskeeper here at Isotopes Park. And while we've got a second, I just want to give a quick shout out to Ed. And you can see just going above and beyond here in trying to get this game back underway. And with him being the head groundskeeper here, he doesn't work for New Mexico United, so just keep that in mind. So big shout out to Ed on everything he does for this ground here, not only right now, but obviously in getting the pitch ready. So while we've got a second, Chris, gives us a moment to get through some housekeeping notes here. The journey to glory begins on Saturday, October 22nd, when the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense begin on ESPN+. The drama continues leading up to the USL Championship final on Sunday, November 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. It looks like we're getting a full rendition of the Magic Minute, whether the run of play is going on or not. And it looks like Ed has worked his magic down there, and we may be back underway here in just a moment.
So fair play to the New Mexico United faithful as well. A week's notice. I imagine a lot of the folks who were in tonight were absolutely soaked last week because, you know, we're not really used to that, how that happened last week. Of course, it was Blue Fiesta week, so of course it rained. But yeah, so the fact on a week's notice that there's still the kind of crowd in here tonight that there is testament to their dedication.
Use Drac to throw it in here. Looks like a yellow card is going to be shown to Kavan Frater here in the 21st minute. Yellow cards are brought to you by Wendy's. There's a yellow card shown tonight. New Mexico United fans, you receive a free breakfast sandwich at participating locations with a qualifying purchase. Well, that's breakfast taken care of tomorrow then, Chris.
I was worried you were going to say that. You said that last Wednesday, and then the game was called off about 2 minutes later. So,
you know what? You're right. I didn't.
Portillo, that was the last thing that happened last Wednesday. Was the yellow card in the obviously very slippery conditions. But yeah, right. That was the stoppage that that ended up finishing the game.
Out to Owen Lamb, picked up by Moreno, looking to play the through ball here for Picasso. And a job well done there by the Oklahoma native, Kalen Ryden, to deal with the pressure. Good spell of possession here for Los Dos. This is Drac. Plays it in to Salazar. Just goes over Salazar's head. Falls to Saldana. Back over to Tejas. Tejas will go back to Asenge. Drac. That's a great ball played through to Rudisil. Saldana back to Drac. Tejas now. Owen Lamb near side. Patience being shown here by the visitors.
Yeah, and you can just see like the rotation of their attacking players. Like Lamb playing so high on the right side. Dunbar is really the only player in the attacking group here who is sticking. He's, you know, the left forward. He's that number 11. You know, playing in that left forward position. He's the only really one who's really sticking to his position. Everyone else, Picasso, Rudisil, Salazar, Tejas, they're all kind of rotating with each other. So it's so hard for New Mexico United to know the players to know who they should be marking, and the communication has to be absolutely spot on because the movement is tremendous right now.
This ball headed forward, a generous bounce, and Wehan just unable to control that. Break could have been on there for New Mexico. And here's Portillo looking to chip this one forward, but Lopez is there. And so again, we told you the scenario for New Mexico here tonight. So if El Paso do not win in their matchup against Tampa Bay Rowdies, New Mexico needs a win here tonight to clinch a playoff berth. Well, that game at Al Lang Stadium has gone final. And New Mexico United fans, brace yourself. A 3-1 victory for the Rowdies. So, Chris, a win tonight. The black and yellow are in.
Yeah, that opens up
Wehan. Looks like they're ready to punch their ticket immediately. Schwartz goes down, free kick. Juan here on the edge of the box.
Yeah, just think about how, obviously I've seen all the social media about how full it's going to be here on Saturday. Can you imagine if New Mexico United do pull off the result tonight and Saturday is just deciding which part of the playoffs they end up in? It'll be a party.
Blackout night on Saturday. It's the final remaining regular season home match. There you see on the bottom corner of your screen, a win tonight clinches a playoff spot. But as you mentioned here, Chris, work to be done here tonight before we look to Saturday, as New Mexico tied up here with Los Dos here in the 25th minute. Here's Portillo. Portillo leads New Mexico in assists and goals scored now. 5 assists on the season for the New Orleans native, going back post. It's headed away by Asenge, the Cameroonian. Wehan battling there with Picasso. Suggs will play it back to Tambakis. Captain Josh Suggs. Suggs making his 14th appearance here on the season. Still with some injuries this year, Chris, that have seen him out of the side.
I think that's been a story really for New Mexico United in general. There's been some players who've started doing well and and ended up picking up, like say Harry Schwartz earlier on the season was absolute barnstorm and started the season and picked up that injury where it just kept him, and he's been kind of in and out since then after missing a chunk of time. But again, tonight looks like he's really in the mood. Special shout out to Armando Moreno on Sunday. On the same field where he tore his ACL to score the brace, you could see the emotion and how much that meant to him. And it really was, like, even watching it, it was an emotional moment seeing how much that meant for him.
Yeah, and it's just one of those sort of things that, just sort of written in the stars, I guess, right? Like, for him to have that performance right there on that pitch nearly a month to the date when that San Antonio match took place, it was just incredible to see. And something you mentioned in the pre-match, Chris, lead up to kickoff, if that meant Armando Moreno starting to catch fire for the black and yellow at this point in the season, things could bode well.
Yeah, and they need someone to, in the attacking sense, and if it's who deserves it more, like I say, the energy and just the intensity he brings, just everything. He's just a winner. He just wants to win at everything, whether it's tiddlywinks or soccer. It doesn't matter. He just wants to win. You can just see it in him. And he just kind of drags the energy out of everyone else, whether they're feeling it or not. Are you too young for tiddlywinks? Did I just show my age there?
I have no idea what that is.
Not that old, I promise.
Quick search on the Google machine will tell me exactly what we're talking about here. Here goes Owen Lamb. Owen Lamb was signed by Galaxy back in April of 2021. Notched 4 assists last year for Galaxy 2 in his first professional season. Played 29 games, started all of them. Saldana loses possession. It goes back to Tambakis now. Frater goes down, wins the free kick. New Mexico elect to take it quickly. Going back post, looking for Moreno. It was Will Seymour with a great ball played in. Moreno double teamed, able to find Portillo. Frater now. Sawahi to Azira. Kalen Ryden with the own goal earlier today. 6th minute. Here's Frater, nice turn. The Jamaican Kevon Frater, couple step overs. Frater once again. And Los Dos able to deal with the pressure. New Mexico, Chris, on the front foot here over the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you could see there was a little question from the fans there about Saldana about whether he used his forearm there to control the ball, but I don't think there was much doing there. But you can see Kevon Frater, every time he gets the ball, his first thought is, can he get the defender faced up and can he get the goal? He's not interested in passing to his teammates. He's not interested in the assist. He's interested in getting the goal as soon as possible.
Doyle wins the header over to Saldana. Owen Lamb now. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of the USL Championship action on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Here's the Senge. Portillo back to Ryden. Doyle now plays it back to Lopez. Lopez has that one nearly stolen by Sawahi, and then Sawahi commits the foul. Here's Dunbar. Scored a goal on the weekend, did Dunbar. Here's Drac now. Plays the cross in, and just like that, Galaxy take the lead here in the 32nd minute. And New Mexico once again, Chris, putting themselves in a hole to climb out of.
Yeah, chasing the tail a little bit there, and you see Salazar, he just makes that little dart. I think he gets in front of Suggs at the last second there. And just, it's a yard, 2 yards out, a relatively, other than having to be committed and slide in there, a relatively easy finish, but created by Dunbar, just driving to that end line and putting the ball in a great area.
And a tap in for Mike Salazar. And that is, as you said, fairly easy there for Los Dos. And for New Mexico, Chris, we just mentioned a few minutes ago, win and they're in. Well, again, facing a 2-goal deficit for that to happen.
Yeah, and this is 2 games in a row now where New Mexico United, conceding goals too easily. Let's face it. At the start of the season, New Mexico United were top of the charts in terms of keeping other teams out, and that's certainly, and there is a balance, and they weren't necessarily maybe the most exciting team going forward, but the balance between that is that's the struggle, and that's been the struggle for the whole season.
Here's Salazar once again, the goal scorer. Michael Salazar, the Belize international. 16 caps for the Belize national team. He scored there as well. That was his 5th goal on the USL Championship season. New Mexico looking to answer back once again. Suggs finds Moreno, who's got space. Armando Moreno, picked up by a Senge. Cross goes in. There's a Zira that just missed. Lopez has to come out. Play continues. Lopez well off his line. Moreno now. Cross is headed away. Here's Schwartz looking to work his way around Drac, and he gets fouled. So Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for New Mexico. So 34 minutes in so far, Chris. What have you seen?
I mean, it's a case of New Mexico United really have shot themselves in the foot. That second goal there for Los Dos was just too easy. It was too easy for Dunbar to get to the end line. Too easy for him to put the ball, in a really, really dangerous area. Yeah, and it's, while they've huffed and puffed, New Mexico United really struggling to get Chris Wehan in the game. And you can see he's drifting into different areas just to try and find the game. So, he's working hard enough, and but he just can't quite find it. Same as Moreno, I'd say. Moreno's doing a lot more of his work deeper than what he wanted. He's really only touched the ball in the opposition box once, maybe twice that I can think of. Everyone getting a little nervous there when they start looking at the pitch again there. But yeah, you can see. But again, it's a team that, New Mexico United, the next goal is crucial. If Los Dos gets the next game, it really is an uphill battle. New Mexico United have created enough and looked dangerous enough going forwards where they'll still fancy their chances in this game. But just looking back, I didn't realise, how long it's been since New Mexico United played at home. But the last home game, they conceded 3 to RGV. This season, they've conceded 2 at home to Memphis, 3 at home to Miami. Conceding goals at home has unfortunately been a little bit of a theme.
This is Drac. Assisted the goal scored just minutes ago. That was his first assist in the USL Championship this season. Freighter run over by Doyle, draws the foul. New Mexico looking to take it quickly, but not so fast, says the official. The Ugandan, Michael Azira, MLS veteran, had 190 appearances in the top flight here in the States, did Michael Azira. Talked about an extensive playing career. Former USL Cup champion as well. Suggs looking to connect with Swartz on the run. And Swartz is going to be called for the foul on Drac. And I got to say, I didn't see a whole lot of contact there from Harry Swartz, but I think for Drac, that was a savvy move as he felt Swartz was on his back, kind of hit the brakes a little bit, and was run over.
Yeah, and that was you can see maybe a little frustration there by Harry Swartz. Drac was really going nowhere there, and he just gives him a little push right there. He's already given away the throw in, which he was going to give away no matter what, and unfortunately let him off the hook there a little bit, allow Los Dos to secure the ball and clear the lines.
So off the restart here. Los Dos on top by way of a Kalen Ryden own goal in the 6th minute, and then Michael Salazar scoring in the 31st minute. And Backus has to come well out to clear that one away. So in getting dangerous again for New Mexico, Kalen Ryden has to rise up and send the header away. Alex Tambakis eventually able to get his hands on it. New Mexico looking to break here. This is Harry Swartz. Swartz again. Back to Azira. Portillo now spreads it near side. This is Josh Suggs. Chris Wehan, only 2 assists on the season. Does have 7 goals to go along with that, Chris, but I think from what we've seen from Wehan in the past and probably just his own personal standards, it's a little bit of a down year.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's been some growing pains this year. A slightly different system, maybe a slightly different style compared to what a lot of these players who were returners when it was with Troy Lesane. But yeah, so there's been little growing pains, and The system, as you can see, that last 3, 4, 5 weeks has changed. Majority of the season was 3 at the back, 3-5-2, and it's changed now. Very much a 4-3-3, and personnel changes every week, which happens. You have to keep the team fresh. But yeah, it's just been a weird season. It's been really hard for New Mexico to get on any kind of roll.
This one goes back to Asenge. When you say it's been a weird year for New Mexico, and this was something that I looked into a little bit in preparing for this broadcast, and just looking at the season thus far, right? You've played 32 games, so break it down. Your first 16 games, your last 16. And just some of the numbers that we found were just telling, right? Like, you look at the point totals through your first 16 games, 29. Over your last 16 games, only 16 points. And then defensively is where most of the impact has come. You only conceded 13 goals through those first 16 games. We've conceded nearly double that since then, 25.
Yeah, and that's what we said, right? Like the early season form, if you will, was really built on defensive solidity. It really was. It was they were top 3 for probably those first 16 games, maybe a little less. But I think the need to stray away from that to become a little more expansive going forward has meant that, finding that balance between creating attacking opportunities and still managing to keep, it tight at the back. It's a really hard balance to strike. It really is.
In New Mexico, they've obviously tried some different stuff in bringing back Frater, bringing in Romario Williams, tweaking things. We haven't seen Preston Taborda-Taka as much recently. Salazar, the goal scorer, finds Saldana. Owen Lamb now. Asenge. Tejas connects with Saldana. Looking for the run of Dunbar. It's headed away by Swahi. 42nd minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. This is the reschedule from last Wednesday that was called after 7 minutes due to unplayable field conditions. New Mexico doing battle here with Los Dos. As the black and yellow at this point, they just need to win tonight and they can clinch a playoff berth. Obviously here, 42 minutes in, work to do as they face a 2-1 deficit.
It's really interesting. While you were talking there, I was just looking across at the technical area. I could see head coach Zach Prince just having a really, really in-depth conversation there with Jerome Kiesewetter. It seems like maybe if they're already thinking for the second half, maybe it's a change that's going to happen early on there. And honestly, it's Los Dos are so comfortable in possession. New Mexico United have to have a little bit of urgency without the ball, force the mistakes from Los Dos, try and press a little higher, win the ball a little higher up the field. Because it's too easy in these areas. It's too easy playing out from Tambakis. It's too easy for Los Dos to stay in their shape and keep things compact. And New Mexico United have to go 120 yards, 110, 120 yards there. Whereas if they can win it off the defenders like they did in the first 10 minutes, we were saying when they were pressing, there was mistakes there. We can get that right, but the energy's just not quite right from the attacking group there, the first line of defense for New Mexico.
Swahi able to come away with the interception. Here's Azira. Portillo finds Will Seymour. Colorado native Will Seymour. All the way back to Lopez. there. Foul is going to be called. And a yellow card is shown to Will Seymour. So second yellow card shown to New Mexico United here just 44 minutes in.
Yeah, that was a bad one. Seymour had made his mind up very early. He was either going to win the ball or Drac was going to end up out there. And I think he just pops the ball through his legs there, and he was fully committed. So can't argue with the yellow card.
Tonight's replays are brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to home and business service needs. It's like Drac still feeling the effects of that challenge. Again, yellow cards presented by Wendy's, so Will Seymour, Kevon Frater, both with the yellow cards here in this first half. Salazar goes in a little recklessly, and now match going to be stopped. And the athletic trainer is called on. It is a head injury stoppage, so nearing the end of the first 45 minutes. Stoppage time coming up. So we await word on how much stoppage time we'll have here in the first half.
The clock has passed 45 minutes. Official time is being kept on the field. The center referee.
So we have heard that there's going to be 3 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Well, Chris, I'll tell you what's not a matter of opinion. 3 points tonight for the black and yellow and a playoff berth.
Yeah, and it's...
Did I really just say that?
You did. It's thrown me. I'm not going to lie. That's I've lost my train of thought there, mate. That was brilliant. Brilliant segue. Well done. But yeah, no, I mean, that's it. It's, I guess, things being so black and white, it makes it easy, right? You know, like the halftime team talk for Zach Prince writes itself. It really does. It's up to the guys on the pitch now. They've done the work during the week. Yeah, you would assume, obviously, the first goal was a freak, but they haven't really performed to the levels that they would expect. So it's really easy halftime team talk. It is. It's you know your jobs, do them, and you'll be fine, and you'll come away with a result in the second half, because this game is there to be won for sure.
It's there to be won, and on the other side for Los Dos, they've already been eliminated from playoff contention.
We knew they were going to come in and play spoiler. Like,
absolutely.
And that is motivation in itself. It really is, especially when there's, a large crowd here tonight. That really is motivation enough. But next Wednesday night, you've got to be good enough to overcome that, because that is what a lot of teams try to do when they come here, because it's well known and well documented how large the fan base is here.
Suggs plays this one into the box. Drac heads that away from Swartz. Seymour. And Will Seymour wins a Bank of America corner kick here for New Mexico.
Yeah, it would be a great time to manage to cobble something together here with a set piece here, and maybe make the halftime team talk a little easier.
Corner kick coming up here for Justin Portillo. One more opportunity for New Mexico to level things up here in the first half. Portillo goes out to Azira. Set piece right off the training ground. Azira looking back post for Ryden. And Ryden asking for another corner, and he's going to get it. Second Bank of America corner kick coming up here in a row for New Mexico. Justin Portillo, the New Orleans, Louisiana native. Portillo carried away only as far as Azira atop the box. Back out, Portillo. One time's in, and it's headed away by Asenge. Frater now, far side. Crosses in, does Frater, and this one doesn't miss by much. It was Alexi Sawahi looking to equalize just before the half, and New Mexico again with another corner kick.
Great ball in by Kevon Frater there. He just takes a quick touch just to get it out from under his feet and clips the ball, and Sawahi it was like slow motion. He was wide open, but then the defender just got there in time, got the little tip over the bar. But you could see the goalkeeper was worried as well. New Mexico looking dangerous. Little push here to just before halftime.
Lopez having some issues in there with Will Seymour.
Free kick incoming.
So the official calling out Seymour, Picasso, and Lopez. For New Mexico, this just absolutely kills whatever momentum you had going for you just moments ago. One more chance here to tie it before half. Portillo, and it's headed away by Doyle. Falls to Suggs, and that's the end of the first 45 here, Chris. Galaxy 2 on top of New Mexico United, 2-1. What have been your takeaways through the first 45?
All to do in the second half. It's there for New Mexico United if they want it. But they have to raise the game. The intensity has to be much higher in the second half.
It's halftime. The score is 2-1. New Mexico United trail, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with halftime in just a moment.
For over 50 years, BIOS has been proudly serving New Mexico. We love being a part of this community and the New Mexico United family, and helping everyone from homeowners to home builders create a space that's both beautiful and practical. Shopping local is about more than getting a great deal. It's about supporting your community, your neighbors, your friends. Visit BIOS in Albuquerque and see how shopping local supports your New Mexico community.
There is a place where there are no roads, no conveyances beyond 2 legs, or 4. It's a vast swath of land set aside for adventure, for animals, for nature. We're visitors here in America's first designated wilderness, the Gila.
What's so great about being a Smith's Boost member? Free delivery. Free delivery on the Smith's products you love. Free delivery on the unexpected stuff you need. And best of all, more rewards, like double fuel points on everything you buy. Experience a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year with Boost by Smith's Rewards.
I hear him chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees, I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for war, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east.
Welcome back to the lab here. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. It's Hispanic Heritage Night, and it is halftime. New Mexico United trailing Los Dos 2-1. It is, again, halftime presented by Smith's, fresh for everyone. Chris, we've got plenty to get into here for this halftime, so let's jump right into it. Starting off first here with the standings, New Mexico, as we've mentioned thus far, right outside of the playoffs, win, and they're in tonight.
Yeah, again, it's all there for them. It's all there right in front of them, and with the result going their way out in Tampa today as well, I'm sure that's being mentioned in the locker room right now.
Take a look at our news and notes from around the league. You can see some teams already clinching playoff spots. You can see 4 Western Conference spots have been clinched so far. New Mexico looking to make it 5 tonight. You can see the second point here. We're playing that rescheduled match right here, right now. Thanks for tuning in. And New Mexico, as we mentioned, looking to clinch a playoff spot after Tampa Bay dealt with El Paso, finishing that one 3-1 just minutes ago. This is the look around the league scoreboard here. Los Dos falling to Atlanta United 2 over the weekend, 3-1. Lights beating Miami FC 3-2. Memphis beating Red Bulls 2-1. And Riverhounds drawing with Sac Republic 1-1. Looking ahead here for New Mexico. Well, Chris, It's that time of year. Just one left here on the upcoming regular season schedule. Right back here on Saturday night. Switchbacks coming to the Lab regular season finale.
And Switchbacks have been on a tear this year as well. Really, if you're New Mexico United, you don't want to have to go into that game really looking for all 3 points. Like, obviously, you want to go in, you want to try and win the game, but it's that's a tough game.
This is our Team of the Week presented by eFootball. And there you can see Player of the Week, Mishi Galina from the aforementioned Colorado Springs Switchbacks. New Mexico going to have their hands full with him and company coming to the Lab on Saturday night. So that is our Team of the Week. We're going to step aside for just a moment, and we'll be back with more halftime right here at the Lab.
I mean, yeah, this time stop it. Today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it. What?
Unbelievable! What a goal! What a moment! The ultimate upset when it mattered the most!
Back here at the Lab, Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. New Mexico trailing Los Dos 2-1. As we're going to have a look here at the first half highlights presented by Will Ferguson and Associates. We're here for you, and we're here to win. Chris, things started out for New Mexico with Kevon Frater sending this one across the face of goal, and then the floodgates really opened up.
Yeah, it started really on fire straight away. He was causing all kinds of issues for Los Dos at the back there, but then it was just this one long ball, a routine pass back there. You can see that last bounce, it just dies. The ball just dies. It bobbles a couple of times, then it just lays flat. So Tambakis just gets the technique wrong. You'll see 1-2 bounces when it goes to him, and then the last one, it just doesn't move at all. Goes under his foot, and you can see the reaction. Just a horrible goal to start the game off there.
And unfortunately for Kalen Ryden, that was just in the 6th minute. So New Mexico starting out in a hole with the own goal, but they were able to bounce back just minutes later. It was Justin Portillo from the penalty spot in the 13th minute, slotting home his 8th goal of the season.
Yeah, it was a handball by Doyle, and he tried to fake that it wasn't a handball, but it was definite handball. Hit his left hand, and Mr. Iceman Portillo, I mean, from the spot, dead ball situations, he's just the man that you want in those situations. The keeper even goes there, Lopez even goes the right way, doesn't have any chance because it's so far in that bottom corner.
Justin Portillo, so cool. They're at the penalty spot. That's why they call him the Iceman. And after that, it was, well, more of the same from Los Dos. Is Salazar able to connect with the cross there from Drac here in the 31st minute and put Galaxy back up.
yeah, and during the day I was saying it was Dunbar, but yeah, Drac just drives into the massive space that just opened up in front of him, drives towards the end line, puts the ball in a really dangerous area. You see Salazar, he just gets across, just gets in front of Suggs there. Suggs a despairing lunge at the last second there to try and put him off, but a relatively comfortable finish for him.
And for Salazar, that was his 5th goal of the USL Championship season. Let's have a look here at the first half stats. There you can see Los Dos up 2-1. Shots looking fairly even. Both teams with just the 1 shot on goal. Possession even. This has been a pretty good battle so far, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a really even game, and that's why I keep saying it's right there in front. Like New Mexico United are the team that are playing for something. As you mentioned, Los Dos are already eliminated this year, and it's really up to New Mexico United to really push the tempo and push the issue. It's all there in front of them, and if they just up the tempo a little bit, there are mistakes in this Los Dos back line. If they can just force them and then punish them.
Couple of yellow cards issued, both to New Mexico United. It was Kevon Frater and Will Seymour going into the book. We've got just a few minutes until the second half returns, so we're going to step aside, catch our breath. We'll be back with the second 45 on the other side of this.
For over 45 years, we have been roofing New Mexico. Even though you may not know it, you have been covered by one of our roofs at some point. Now we're bringing the same high-quality craftsmanship that protects New Mexico's commercial buildings into the residential marketplace. Get a commercial quality roof on your home today. National Roofing. Local company, national name.
Call 883-3000 or visit nationalroofing.com.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Game time.
This is a story about Damien, an 18-year-old CNM graduate. He's a certified truck driver and mechanic. Would you call yourself driven?
You could say that.
What are you working on here?
This toaster is gonna fix itself.
Seems complicated. Where'd you learn all this?
I've always been mechanical, and CNM pushed me forward. Now I can take on anything.
Glad we could help. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibilities.
We are back here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst, second half getting set to start here in just a couple of minutes as New Mexico United trailing LA Galaxy 2 here, 2-1. Halftime presented by First Financial Credit Union. All right, Chris, team talks in the dressing rooms are done here through halftime. If you're Marcelo Sarvas and LA Galaxy 2, what's the message?
Marcelo Sarvas, it's relatively easy for him as well. Is keep doing what they're doing. Just every time that they've put the New Mexico United defense under any kind of pressure, there's been mistakes there. So keep trying to push forward, and you know they've found moments to be patient with the ball and keep the ball and really frustrate New Mexico. And you know I think one of his talks will probably be as well expecting some kind of reaction from New Mexico United, because on the other side of it, Zach Prince, it's maybe a little of the old-fashioned Alex Ferguson hairdryer treatment, where maybe had some words with them after that first half there, because like I say, it's really, you know, all the pieces are there, and it's just they have to put it together, and it's about that intent. And there was flashes of it in the first half, but there was no real sustained period of pressure from New Mexico United, and that's probably the most disappointing thing. But as you can see, it looks like Zach Prince came out early from the dressing room. We noticed it during the commercial break there. Sergio Rivas, Jerome Quisavetta, it looks like as well. So ringing the changes to try and have a positive impact in the second half.
So as you mentioned, looks like a couple of changes coming up here. The German Jerome Kiesewetter and the hometown kid Sergio Rivas set to appear here for New Mexico to start this second half. So Zach Prince looking to shake things up just a little bit. As appears as though Weehan and Frater will be making way. And you noticed that, Chris, during that first half, Weehan just wasn't moving right. Looks perhaps, don't want to speculate it, whether he has an injury or not, but just didn't look right.
Yeah, he was just struggling to find the game, and it was really hard to tell the position he was playing as well, So him and Moreno, but I like this change, the energy and the tenacity of Sergio Rivas in there just behind Jerome Kiesewetter, and Jerome Kiesewetter using his experience against this relatively young Los Dos team. It could bear fruit for them.
So New Mexico trailing here this season. That hasn't been a good thing. New Mexico, they have a record of just 1 win, 1 draw. They've lost 6 times in the 8 games that they've trailed at halftime in the USL Championship this season. Second half underway. Again, New Mexico needing a 2-goal comeback at this point. If they win tonight, then they clinch a playoff berth. El Paso losing at Al Lang Stadium in Tampa earlier this evening, 3-1 to Rowdies. As Kiesewetter already involved in some of the action. Kiesewetter and Rivas, the 2 substitutions. Both of those substitutions brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. Rudisill trying to play a little 1-2 there with Drac and losing possession, but Los Dos able to win the throw-in once again. Dunbar goes across the pitch, looking to find Lamb, connects with Picasso instead. Tejas gives it to Lamb. Cross almost went in there from Picasso, but just unable to keep that one from going out first.
Yeah, you can see again though the rotation and the movement of Los Dos. It's just so dynamic there, where it's really hard for New Mexico United players to pass runners on because it happens so quickly. It's so fluent. They're really struggling in those moments, and Los Dos just ran out of space there.
Doyle wins the header over Kiesewetter. New Mexico looking to keep the pressure on here. Black and yellow need a couple of goals here in this second half. New Mexico, as I mentioned, have not been a come-from-behind team this year. 8 times they've faced a deficit at half. 6 times they've gone on to lose that match. It's back to Kalen Ryden. Rivas, his first touch. Seymour looking to play this long, and Asenge climbing the ladder to win the header. It goes back to Lopez. Facing pressure is Lopez, and he's got to get rid of it as Jerome Kiesewetter was closing down. Throw-in goes back to Kiesewetter. Azira now. Here's Suggs. New Mexico looking to create some opportunities. Moreno takes a shove. No foul called. Here's Swartz now. Play on, says the official. Swartz gets it back, and Harry Swartz has equalized for New Mexico. What a rip from the Boston boy, Harry Swartz. And a lifeline for New Mexico to potentially clinch a playoff berth tonight.
What an absolute tear that was. And you could see it all came from Grumpy Savetta pressuring Lopez, the goalkeeper, forces a mistake, throw in, maintain the pressure by keeping it in the offensive third there. New Mexico United actually gave the ball away, tried to be a little intricate, gave the ball away, but won back immediately. I think it was by Josh Suggs. Ball played to Moreno, set to Harry Schwartz, and just one touch, absolute peach. Just played into Moreno there, and just one touch there, absolute great strike there. But again, it all started from putting that Los Dos back line under a little bit of pressure, mistake happened, and then you win the ball in the attacking half, and good things come from that. So, great start to the second half if you're New Mexico United.
That's the 5th goal on the season for Harry Schwartz. That is the first in what seems like forever. I'm sure he feels the same way. He scored all 4 of his goals in the opening 11 matches of the campaign. Has not scored since, but what a better time for him to find the back of the net once again. And so again, you've heard us say it multiple times here tonight. New Mexico needs to win tonight and they clinch a playoff berth. Kiesewetter is fouled. That Harry Schwartz goal presented by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. Moreno looking to add on to that total. Scored a brace on the weekend, did Armando Moreno. Here's Portillo. Pokes it forward, connects with Kiesewetter. Moreno now. And the offside flag is up.
But you can see there's a little bit more urgency. There's a little bit more intensity about everything that New Mexico United and the players, Kiesewetter, Rivas, the energy in there, it's made a difference already. And you can see maybe Marcelo Salvas is already potentially, all his subs are already up, warming up, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there. He might be thinking about having to counter the substitutes that Zach Prince has already done, because it's already making a big difference in the game.
Ball bouncing around in front of Tellez. The goal scorer, Harry Schwartz, looking to break. Feeds it to Kiesewetter. And Kiesewetter unleashes one. And that was saved by Lopez in New Mexico. Have woken up following the half.
Yeah, big time there. And you can see Doyle is, I can't see which centre mid it is. I can't see at the opposite end of the field from him. He is letting him have it right now. Not happy at all. There was 5 New Mexico United players just streaming at the 2 centre backs of Los Dos there, and they were really outnumbered. So not happy with their midfield group right now.
Another Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Sixth corner kick of the evening for the black and yellow. Here's Justin Portillo. To have his men rearranged there in the 18. Portillo now sends this one in. I believe it was Rivas who made the initial attempt. Schwartz gets shoved. The foul is going to be called in New Mexico. Again with a Fiesta Auto Group free kick coming up.
It was Saldana there. We talked about in the first half. I think it was Harry Schwartz who did a similar kind of foul where I can't remember who the Los Dos player was, but had nowhere to go. Drac maybe it was. Drac, sorry. And there he just did exactly the same. Saldana, where he had no need. And Suggs had nowhere to go, but gives him a shove in the back, gives him an opportunity to go down, and now another dangerous set piece for New Mexico.
Portillo sends this one in. Lopez gets a touch to it. It's poked back, and it's put in. It's Harry Schwartz running away, and Harry Schwartz has just put New Mexico ahead with a brace here in just a few minutes.
I tell you what, if Zach Prince did give them the hairdryer, it hasn't half worked, because New Mexico United have come out on fire in the second half, and Harry Schwartz, it was a broken play. I think Lopez comes way off his line and doesn't get a clean punch on it. Tries to punch it clear, doesn't get a clean punch. Comes through so much traffic, and it just drops to Schwartz there. But he still has so much to do because the ball's bobbling. You can just see there, he's coming over the top of his own there, and he has so much to do there. It's so high as well, and just pops it back in an area. And I'd say, he definitely meant it. So not luckily for him, but maybe somewhat fortuitous that there was no one on the line still. And there it is, it just drops in the back of the net.
Harry Schwartz really said, I'll do it myself, guys, don't worry. And New Mexico, as of right now, in the playoff picture. Still time left. Seymour plays it back to Portillo. For New Mexico, what a time for Harry Schwartz to come alive. As New Mexico lead now 3-2 over Los Dos here in the 55th minute. Goals are presented by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years.
If New Mexico, I'm sure it's really tempting for the players to naturally kind of go into their shell a little bit, but Los Dos really are on the rocks right now. If New Mexico United could push this advantage forward a little bit and get another goal right now, it really could be game, set, and match.
Kiesewetter. It looks like Zach Prince may be making a couple more changes coming up here momentarily, Chris. It looks like Austin Yearwood and Sam Hamilton waiting over at the technical area. But wait, before that, Lopez has to come out in front of Amando Moreno and make a save.
Trying to think, I mean, obviously, we know Suggs has maybe struggled with injuries this year, so Austin Yearwood in for Suggs is maybe a natural replacement there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I'm intrigued to see who Sam Hamilton's going for, because like I say, maybe there's an injury that we're not aware of, because New Mexico United very much, it's not like anyone, there needs to be a change in system because it's not working, because it very much is working right now.
Salazar doing his best to maintain possession, trying to connect with the speedster Dunbar, but Dunbar unable to chase that one down. So it looks like the changes will come, and indeed it is Sam Hamilton and Austin Yearwood entering. Looks like it's going to be Michael Azira making way, as well as Josh Suggs. Those substitutions are brought to you by REDW CPAs and Advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So basically, some like-for-like changes there, Chris. You bring in Yearwood, who is a left back by trade. Same thing with Hamilton as a holding defensive mid. Not really any changes here for Prince.
No, not in terms of shape or anything like that. It is really interesting. I mean, obviously, Austin Yearwood, what a great left back to be able to come off the bench. He's had a few great years here at New Mexico United. Been Mr. Reliable for the last couple of years. Struggled with injuries again this year a little bit, being in and out of the team. But yeah, the Hamilton one's really interesting, because, like I say, New Mexico United very much on top, and you hope, if you're a New Mexico United fan, that this doesn't disrupt the momentum that was clearly they've taken advantage of and was building as well.
Rivas connects with Hamilton. His first touch finds Kiesewetter. New Mexico looking to add to the total. Schwartz on a hat trick right now. Harry Schwartz with a brace here this evening. Los Dos looking to answer. Here's Picasso. Picasso tried to play the cross in, looking for Rudisil, but it's dealt with. All the way back, this is Doyle now. Drac making the run on the near side. We'll get it eventually. Going back to Saldana. Here's Kiesewetter. Ball falls. Rivas gives it back. Kiesewetter, and Kiesewetter just sends it wide. That one would have been massive.
And I know it's easy to say it from up here, but the front post was wide open. He tried to go across Lopez there, and with his left foot, the natural trajectory and bend on the ball just takes it away from the post. But it just looked, for that split second, like Lopez had miscalculated a little bit, come out a little too straight, and it just seemed like it was wide open. You can see lovely little interplay again, comes again from New Mexico United, winning the ball in the attacking third. And Los Dos have just such an expansive playing shape. It's really hard for them in transition to get numbers back behind the ball. So 2 passes and New Mexico United were at them again.
Here's Picasso. Ryden is there to cut that one out. Hamilton connects with Kiesewetter. 2 goals on the USL Championship season for Jerome Kiesewetter. Drawing the foul there is the German.
I think he had two goals in 2 games, right? And then there was that injury that he picked up, and that really, we keep talking about the injuries. I feel like I've said that 15 times already in the second half, but it has been a bit of a theme when and I'm sure it's been frustrating for the coaching staff as well, as that, whenever a player kind of gets in a little bit of a groove, they've picked up a little niggling injury that's managed to keep them out for an extended period.
Yeah, you mentioned that league stretch where he had 2 goals in 2 games. Also scored a couple of goals in the Open Cup for the Black and Yellow this season in a couple of appearances as well. So 4 goals altogether for Kiesewetter. Hamilton finds Harry Swartz, back to Hamilton. Well, poked out. Portillo. Portillo will find Kalen Ryden. So 62 minutes gone by. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here at the lab. As it stands right now, New Mexico can clinch a playoff berth if this result holds here tonight. Never said no to a party on a Wednesday night, Chris, I'll tell you that. So I'm sure the thousands of fans here at the lab are feeling the exact same way. Here's Rivas now. Sends that into the waiting arms of Lopez. Great work defensively there from Kalen Ryden. Salazar was giving chase to that one. All for naught in the end. And suddenly the crowd has come alive, Chris. We can hear them from the press box up here.
I think even in the pouring rain last Wednesday, the curse was still in full voice. Most of it directed at the referee to try and continue the game. But yeah, it's they're always in fine voice. But yeah, I mean, how can you not be excited to see how this second half has unfolded so far?
Moreno. It's going to be deflected off of one of the Galaxy players, I believe it was Picasso. Into Moreno, and Rivas was offside. Here's a cool little stat. Over the last 15 minutes, over 40% of the action has been in the LA Galaxy 2/3. So New Mexico really controlling the pace of the match here coming out of this second half, Chris.
Yeah, you see, and I think we talked about it earlier on as well, just the fact that when New Mexico United are able to win it in that area, they only have 40 yards to go instead of having to build through, the multiple lines and organisation that Los Dos have had when they're able to set up their block on the midfield line. As soon as that's broken, or as soon as, within a pass or two, New Mexico United are at the back line, it's just causing chaos.
And a card being pulled from the pocket. I believe it's going to be Saldana going in the book as Swartz went to ground. A little bit of extracurriculars there after the whistle had blown.
Saldana showed a little bit of frustration earlier on where he knocked Josh Suggs into the advertising hoardings as well on the left-hand side of New Mexico United's attack there. And yeah, he's just maybe showing a little frustration with how the second half's gone.
Yeah, a little shove there from Saldana. Nothing egregious, I wouldn't say. So yellow card issued there to Adam Saldana, presented by Wendy's. Remember, New Mexico United fans, if there's a yellow card shown in tonight's match, which there has been, you get a free breakfast sandwich tomorrow morning at participating locations with a qualifying purchase. So while we've got a second, let's get through our last bit of housekeeping here. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. This is a Fiesta Auto Group free kick here for New Mexico. Rivas takes a touch, right back to it. Great scoop there from Portillo. Here's Rivas, connects with Moreno, and Armando Moreno has won a corner.
That was good little inventive play there down the right-hand side. Obviously with the delivery that Portillo has, everyone's expecting a ball into the box there. So just tried something a little different, changed the angle. And for a second there, Moreno had a couple of yards of space, but closed down really quickly.
So another corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Going to be Justin Portillo once again. Portillo plays this one into the box. Is headed away immediately. Estos looking to counter. Counter shut down by Hamilton. And that one just out of the reach of Jerome Kiesewetter. Senge. This is Doyle. Salazar able to connect with Owen Lamb. Owen Lamb plays the cross in, and it's Alexi Sawahi dealing with the danger. Falls to Drac now. Drac plays the cross in. Sawahi called on again. Kiesewetter able to wall off the defenders. So good at what he does with his hold-up play.
Yeah, he just puts his body in a way where he's either going to keep the ball or get fouled. So it's really frustrating as a defender, and that's what he was doing so successfully earlier on this season, was just drawing fouls from opponents by putting his body in areas where he might get kicked, might get hurt, but using all his experience to do that.
Sawahi looking to connect with Moreno. Perfectly weighted pass. Moreno now on the right foot, cuts it back, and eventually just runs out of real estate, does Armando Moreno. Yearwood does well to win the throw-in.
What a ball that was by Sawahi, though, but such a hard technique over his shoulder. The ball just dropping over Armando Moreno's shoulder and trying to pluck it out of the air there. But you know, so his touch let him down a little bit, and then Lostos on that occasion managed to get plenty bodies around the ball.
So we're hearing some whispers of a incoming sub for Los Dos, and looks like they may be bringing on some firepower, looking to equalize this one here. As I believe that was Kiesewetter who went down in a heap. He took out some of the signage again on that end. And so that was the substitution we were referencing. Remy Cabral comes on to replace Paolo Rudistil. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. And so for Remy Cabral, the 23-year-old out of France, making his 33rd appearance on this season. He's appeared in every single match for Galaxy 2 so far. He scored 5 goals. In fact, his older brother Kevin plays for the senior team. Here's New Mexico once again looking for a fourth. Connects with Moreno. And Moreno just has that one taken off his feet by Owen Lamb. Picasso. And Picasso again concedes the throw into New Mexico. Yearwood plays the cross in. And almost fell to Swartz for a hat trick.
Yeah, you can see that it was just Doyle, just the ball just kind of bobbled over his foot, and like you said, it almost dropped for a New Mexico United player in the box there. But every time the ball is put, either team, I'd say, this is not just a Lostos thing. Anytime Lostos get the ball in New Mexico United's box, it looks a little panicked, and vice versa. I'd say anytime New Mexico United are in and around Lostos' 18-yard box as well, it looks very panicked. So I get the feeling we're not done with the goals tonight.
Denver, Colorado native Sam Hamilton. Moreno now looking to connect with Sergio Rivas. And Lopez has to come well out of his box to deal with that one.
That was great goalkeeping. He spotted that very early because Sergio Rivas had made that run from 30 yards away, and Lopez knew his defenders hadn't maybe tracked it, so the starting position was so high. Sweeper keeper comes out and deals with the danger.
Goes back to Hamilton. Excuse me, that's Kalen Ryden. North Carolina native Austin Yearwood concedes the throw-in. Remy Cabral getting his first action here this evening. And Cabral, he was all over Atlanta United too in the first half over the weekend. Did not score that day. It was Dunbar who scored the lone goal for Galaxy 2 in the 3-1 loss, but Cabral showed a lot of promise through the first 45. Had some great opportunities, just unable to finish. Here comes Harry Swartz. On a hat trick is Harry Swartz. Portillo scored the first of 3 here this evening for New Mexico to Justin Portillo. Salazar now. Los Dos looking to pull one back and equalize here in the second half plays spoiler. Rivas going to be called for the foul atop the 18. 75 minutes gone by here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. This match a reschedule from last Wednesday, where these two teams were originally supposed to play. That game got through 6 minutes. It was called off due to unsafe playing conditions down on the field, due to lots of precipitation that was falling here in the Albuquerque area. New Mexico, as things stand right now, if the result holds, they will clinch a playoff berth.
Yeah, and the game on Saturday, I know it's interesting watching what's coming up. Is it seems like we're getting more of those weather coming, so getting the game in just in time.
Number 70, Riley Delgado for number 30, Josh Drack. Number 45, Adrian Gonzalez for number 54, Brendan Telesi. There is no substitution for integrity, REW, CPAs, and advisors.
So a couple of subs here for the visitors. We're going to see midfielder Riley Delgado and midfielder Adrian Gonzalez coming on, as they're going to be replacing Josh Drack and also Brandon Tejas. Those substitutions brought to you by REDW, CPAs, and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. And so, Chris, bringing on a player like Adrian Gonzalez, we saw him really pulling all the strings on the weekend. Him and Remy Cabral got on very well along with Dunbar against Atlanta United too. So Marcelo Sarvas has not given up on this one just yet. He's put in further offensive reinforcements, looking to come away with a point here tonight.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some testing moments here for if you're a New Mexico United fan, where heart rate might be a little tough to take. The longer this stays a 1-goal lead, what they wouldn't give for an insurance goal right now.
Yearwood looking to connect with Moreno. Rivas tries the cheeky flick. Finds Moreno now. Portillo. Back to Rivas. Hamilton. What a dummy from Swartz. That one is skipped over the bar. And it's going to be out for a corner kick.
So yeah, when New Mexico United click in an attacking way, they do have so many weapons there. And just a little worrying. You can see Harry Swartz just seems like he's maybe feeling something in his right leg there. He's trying to stretch out, maybe feeling a little cramp. He's obviously got to do some miles tonight, running up and down that wing there. But one to keep an eye on there maybe with Daniel Bruce. And it does look like maybe Devin Sandoval's getting stripped on the bench as well.
Swartz put in quite the shift in sunny San Diego on Sunday. And so you got to factor that in as well, Chris. It's not your typical Saturday night, Wednesday night turnaround. You have to factor in, you played Sunday afternoon in San Diego, so factor in the travel. Bank of America corner kick here is sent over the bar. It's going to be a goal kick for Los Dos, but as I was saying, for New Mexico, having to make the trip out from the West Coast on short rest, it's got to be challenging.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, because of the game rearranged from last week, this week, the switchbacks players, I'm sure, and staff, I'm sure they're watching the game tonight, and interesting to see how this one turns out. But they're obviously resting, not playing right now, able to just solely focus on that game. And New Mexico United can't turn their focus to the switchbacks until this game is done. And this is still finely balanced. Again, at halftime we said it's right there for New Mexico United to get back in the game. They have. They've really grasped it and taken the game on in the second half. But at the same point, Los Dos, they're just hanging around long enough where all it takes is one chance.
Good ball played forward for Jerome Kiesewetter. Here's Kiesewetter, step over. And Kiesewetter goes down on the edge of the box, no foul. Yearwood is now going to be called for the foul on Gonzalez.
I don't see the difference between those two tackles, in inverted commas. I think the first one was a foul. I do think the Airwoods was a foul as well, but I definitely think the first one was as well. And you can see that that was maybe a little frustration, a little point that maybe Austin Yearwood was making to the referee after the fact there.
So a little bit of a spark here for Los Dos after the substitutions.
Tonight's attendance brought to you by New Mexico Mutual is 10,426.
There you see it on the bottom of your screen. 10,426 fans on hand here tonight for a rescheduled match on a Wednesday night, hoping to see their team clinch a playoff berth. Just over 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. And if this result holds, that will be the case. The full-time scenes here at the lab, you can only imagine. Still work to be done. Picasso has that picked away by Hamilton. Rivas now. Rivas finds Kiesewetter. This could do it, and Kiesewetter has his shot attempt saved. Lopez comes up big for Los Dos.
I'm not sure how much Lopez knew about that, but he did a really good job of making himself very big, stayed up as long as possible. I think he got hit in the face because Kiesewetter just lifted it a little bit instead of maybe playing it along the ground. But another great play there, and you can see Harry Schwartz carries the ball 30, 35, 40 yards up the pitch into a surging Rivas, rolls the ball into Kiesewetter, and he's through on goal again. And that's happened a couple of times in the second half there, but you can see he just lifts it a little bit. You can see it just comes off the face of Lopez, so he'll be feeling that for a few minutes.
And for Kiesewetter, he's had a couple of good looks at goal. Just hasn't been able to put the nail in the coffin here for New Mexico. And it looks like there's another LA player down here on the near side. Unable to tell who it is from our vantage point. It's actually Delgado. Riley Delgado. So he's just being worked on, looks like a right shoulder. Delgado looks to be okay. LA Galaxy Academy product. Delgado, he's actually played for the U.S. men's national team, the U17 version of that, as this one goes in and it's going to be headed out for a goal kick. Delgado will be allowed back onto the pitch. Third minute here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst here. New Mexico looking to clinch a playoff berth. Portillo. Here's Hamilton. Rivas now. Lets it run, and Seymour has that deflected. And unfortunately for New Mexico, it's gone out for a goal kick, as Will Seymour made a marauding run down the right side and through the middle. So it looks like we have another substitution here for Los Dos. Entering the match is defender Carlos Harvey. He's going to replace Saldana.
There is number 43, Adam Saldana.
Carlos Harvey out of Panama. Cazo goes back to Lamb. He's picked up by Moreno.
So maybe just a little shift for the end of the game here, where it looks like Los Dos maybe have gone to a back three here just to get that extra attacker higher up the field. So it's going to get a little nervy here for the black and yellow, but yeah, and they're throwing everything except the kitchen sink here at New Mexico United.
Harry Swartz down. You mentioned this earlier, Chris. You saw him stretching that right leg, and Swartz goes down, potentially dealing with some cramps here. And again, it is that right leg.
He's feeling his hamstring. You hope it is cramp. Like, I really hope it is cramp. You always worry because, you know, let's say because of the season it's been where he seemed like he was on fire earlier on. You hope it's nothing more serious than a bout of cramp there. But yeah, it's interesting to see Devin Sandoval coming on from.
And you mentioned it, Chris. Devin Sandoval entering this match, replacing Harry Swartz for the final 5 minutes. The Albuquerque native Devin Sandoval went to El Dorado High School here in the Northeast Heights. Played for a brief time across the street for the University of New Mexico. The MLS veteran Devin Sandoval scored the first goal in New Mexico history, scored the first playoff goal in New Mexico history. You name it, Sandoval's done it for this club. And he is also the second all-time leading scorer in club history, behind only just Chris Wehan. Through ball, Yearwood has to get on his horse, and he does. And you have to love the effort there from the North Carolina native, Austin Yearwood.
Great tackle as well. Had to time that to absolute perfection there. Segway there, where, yeah, because he was fully stretched, fully committed, but won all of the ball.
Picasso. That one's poked away by Gonzalez. Sawahi will send it right back into the 87th minute now. And a free kick is going to be called. I didn't see exactly what happened.
He just had a little like handoff, and you could hear from up in our vantage point, you could hear the screams from Portillo. The interesting, the only reason why I kind of shrugged my shoulders there was the referee seemed to wait for a little while to make his decision, and I think that's the frustration from the LA players there, where they're asking what for, because he took 4 or 5 seconds, and the play kind of continued on before he decided to pull it back there. 4 or 5 seconds might be an exaggeration, by the way.
Here's Sandoval looking to play the cross in, and his first action over the head of Rivas. Connects with Seymour, though. Back to Sawahi. Kiesewetter goes down and wins the foul. So free kick coming up here for New Mexico, and now a yellow card is going to be shown to Salazar. 88th minute yellow card to Michael Salazar. Yellow cards brought to you by Wendy's. Sure to stop by tomorrow at participating locations for a free breakfast sandwich with a qualifying purchase. So you mentioned earlier, Chris, New Mexico, how much they would love a fourth here. And this one, it set up in a great position.
This is the last time you can see LA out just kind of a little more wary of maybe a little trick play, because Rivas and Portillo over the ball again. Last time they just tried something a little different.
Going back post, looking for Sandoval. He's going to give chase to it now. And Sandoval unable to track that down before it goes out, so it's going to be a throw-in here for Los Dos. Nice to see the run of form for Armando Moreno continuing here tonight. Not on the score sheet. He did, however, pick up the assist for Harry Swartz's first goal. So Remy Cabral. Looking to connect with Salazar. Tambakis has work to do, and he does, as Dunbar was looking to equalize.
You hear the collective sigh of relief there. From all the home fans, there was just a little moment where it looked like Tambakis hadn't quite got there in time, but did just enough. Great goalkeeping, takes the pressure off the back line.
Missed touch from Hamilton. Los Dos could be through here. Here's Picasso. And great work defensively by Alexi Sawahi to send that one away. Excuse me, it was Austin Yearwood. My apologies. '90th minute. Bank of America corner kick here for Los Dos. Here's Remy Cabral. Sends it in near post. Sandoval deals with it. Moreno boots it back near the center circle. Owen Lamb looking to chase this one down. Flag stays down. Hamilton able to get a foot in. Nervy stuff here. Officially into stoppage time as Picasso tries a worldie, and you're seeing it for the first time there. 4 minutes of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. We can feel it here at the lab, Chris. The USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense are within grasp. New Mexico just has to see out this result, and they'll punch their ticket. Still work to do. Throwing here for New Mexico.
Have New Mexico ever punched their ticket into the playoffs with a game to spare? To my recollection, I don't think they have. I think it's always gone down to the last day, is it not?
We'd have to double check the second season in 2020. That I'm not 100% sure of, although that was kind of a weird season, you know, given all things considered. But I do know that in 2019, first year of existence for the black and yellow, they punched their ticket on the final match day.
And it was after the final whistle.
It was after
Switchbacks who did them a favor, and whoever they won against, I can't remember who they
I believe
beat.
it's San Antonio, as I want to say. And then last season, New Mexico not making the playoffs. So this could be the nail in the coffin. Moreno has the shot blocked. 2.5 minutes remaining of the stoppage time. Cabral making the run. He's got Dunbar filling in. Cabral trying to get down to the end line. Goes to ground. And he's not going to get that call. Doyle going to be called for the foul on Kiesewetter. It's Jerome Kiesewetter winning another free kick, drawing another foul. Yellow card shown to Liam Doyle. Yellow cards brought to you by Wendy's. You know the drill. Free breakfast sandwich tomorrow. Qualifying purchase. Participating location. Check, check, check. New Mexico looking to do the same thing here tonight with all 3 points. Stoppage time ticking on here into the 4th and final stoppage time minute. Los Dos looking to steal a point here late. Spoil the party for New Mexico. Cabral has sunk all the way back to the back line. Here's Asenge, connects with Owen Lamb. Last bit of defending left to do here for the black and yellow. Here's Doyle. Gonzalez. Gonzalez finds Lamb far side. Here's Lamb. Puts the cross in. Tambakis is all over it. Tambakis in no hurry whatsoever here. As the time ticks down here in stoppage time, Chris. The Lab is on their feet. Full time here at the Lab. New Mexico United have punched their ticket to the USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense.
Like you said, party on a Wednesday night. You can hear how much this means to the locals and how much it means to the crowd. And congratulations to the coaching staff, because whatever that man said at halftime worked. Because New Mexico United were a completely different team in the second half.
Harry Swartz scored a brace tonight, and you can see what it means for Harry Swartz as he embraces Sam Hamilton. An absolutely massive victory for the black and yellow. They had work to do. They started out in a hole. They made things difficult, but ultimately getting things done. Harry Swartz is your man of the match tonight, presented by Pepsi, for scoring 2 goals here in just 5 minutes. Swartz, also your play of the match winner for the first goal, presented by Michelob Ultra, and Alex Tambakis is your save of the match winner, presented by Invigorate Roofing. And New Mexico, as we said, can dance their way into the playoffs, Chris. Now Saturday just determines where they're going to be seated.
Yeah, I mean, right now sitting in 5th place, and Sac Republic have to be looking over their shoulders, not in great form themselves. Only 1 win in the last 5. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting final Saturday here.
We're going to step aside. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.
Game time.
From day one, REDW has been an integral partner and one of the first companies to say yes to the crazy idea of this soccer team that we all love. Because of REDW's belief, support, and expert financial guidance, United is in a better place today. Their focus on community-first initiatives is perfectly aligned with United's ethos. When they say integrity counts, they mean it, and we are forever grateful and thrilled to be partnered with REDW.
The black and yellow are playoff bound here to the USL Championship playoffs, presented by Hisense. Full time here at the Lab, New Mexico United come from behind victory over Los Dos, 3-2, presented by Duke City Cares. And let's just go ahead and jump into it, Chris. Full-time highlights presented by Will Ferguson and Associates. We're here for you. We're here to win. We told you, New Mexico, they started out in a hole. Things started out like this. In the 6th minute, it seemed like everything was going to go wrong tonight.
I was just about to say, did you think we'd be sitting here now talking about a win, watching that goal roll in there? It was a horrible moment for Tambakis there. The ball just didn't bounce the way he thought under his foot. Horrible start, but quick to turn it around.
Shortly after, the Iceman cometh. It's Justin Portillo slotting home his 8th goal of the season. He leads New Mexico United in goals scored and assists, as Portillo was able to tie things up there.
Yeah, and no problem there. Keeper goes the right way, but puts it so far in the corner, and he strikes it so purely. Keeper really, Lopez, doesn't really have a chance.
But New Mexico didn't want to do things the easy way here tonight, as shortly after that, it was Salazar tapping home in the 31st minute, giving Los Dos a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, great run by Drac there. Just drove to the end line, puts the ball in the really dangerous area. And Salazar just beats a despairing Josh Suggs there, who's trying to clear it and just pokes it home from close range.
5th goal on the season for Michael Salazar. First assist of the USL Championship season for Josh Drac. But then Harry Swartz came alive. It was a brace over 5 minutes from Harry Swartz, bagging 2 goals here this evening.
Yeah, great one touch by Moreno there. Just puts in it, and all he has to do is hit it, and he just does it. Does he hit it? Right in the top corner. Absolute peach of a strike.
Harry Swartz, you can tell exactly what it means to him. And the second just sticks a foot out, Chris. This one caught us off guard up here in the booth.
Yeah, it was Lopez. He tries to go through a crowd of players there to help his defenders out, trying to punch the ball. It doesn't get enough on it. It just falls to Schwartz. He just slings a leg at it and pops it back in a dangerous area. And luckily for him, it just nestles in the bottom corner there.
For New Mexico, that was their first win after trailing at half since June 16th against Oakland Roots. And Harry Swartz was the driving force behind that. So Chris, ticket punched to the playoffs. Let's look here at the full-time stats. New Mexico really turning things on in the second half.
Yeah, and it was, you could tell, you could sense, other than the final flurry from Lostos right at the end there, it really was a dominant second half display. So all credit to the players and the coaching staff for turning it around in the second half there.
Few things to get through before we say goodbye. We'll be back here on Saturday night, 7 p.m. kickoff against Switchbacks. It's blackout night, the regular season finale. Limited tickets available. Get online and get those tickets.newmexicoutd.com. And if you're a season ticket holder, you've only got just over 2 weeks to renew your season tickets. So make sure to get that done. That's going to do it for us here tonight. New Mexico United have punched their ticket into the playoffs. We'll be back Saturday to wrap things up and see where they're seated. So for everybody here tonight, for our director, Stephen Williams, for Chris Hurst on color, my name's Tyler Ortega. We'll see you here in a few days.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.